The Russian press continues to talk openly about Russia's economic problems. Front page of today's Moskovsky Komsomolets, the headline, Price Fever. In 2025, inflation promises to be a serious challenge for the country's economy and ordinary Russians. Everything around us keeps jumping in price. Vegetables, housing, utility bills, medicine, transport. Look at this chart in today's Argumenty Fakty. Over the last year, milk prices have jumped nearly 20%, the price of apples too, cucumbers 22%, beetroot 32%, butter 35%, cabbages 42%, onions 46%, and the price of potatoes by more than 90%. This Russian MP calls for measures to limit the markup on goods, the difference between the shelf price and the manufacturer's price. The markup mustn't exceed 100%. But this economist says putting limits on price markup is a populist measure from politicians that could lead to supply shortages far greater than those that exist now. He calls it the old tried and tested Soviet path to nowhere. From prices to plays. And according to this editorial in Nezavisma Gazeta, what looks like an act of censorship. The play in question is The Case at the Red Torch Theatre in Novosibirsk, based on the play by 19th century Russian playwright Alexander Sukhova-Kabylin. This satirical drama about a bribe given to an official, a state councillor, suddenly disappeared from the theatre's lineup. Media are reporting that the play was allegedly cancelled on the strong recommendation of the security agencies. According to a journalistic source, this was preceded by a complaint from a dissatisfied theatregoer. Could it really be that someone in the security services simply didn't like this story about corruption, illegal and immoral bureaucratic behaviours? Could it really be that Sukhova-Kabylin has fallen foul of an anonymous self-appointed censor? The practice of cancelling plays by a telephone call based on a denunciation because someone didn't like something is unacceptable. It is a gross violation of the Constitution, possibly a crime, abuse of power or exceeding authority. Censorship in Russia is banned. What this story and this editorial show, I think, is that despite the tight limits within which Russian media work right now, there is still room, certainly in the papers, for some degree of criticism of some things that are happening in the country. But certain subjects are out of bounds. For example, you will not find direct criticism of Vladimir Putin now in the papers, and you won't find articles questioning Russia's war in Ukraine.